morning, class. Today we're going to do an activity with this book that we read yesterday. Who remembers the title of this book, or who can read it for me?
How many mice?
How many mice? Okay, so the activity we're going to do today, we're going to answer some questions based on this book, and we're going to follow 4 specific steps. First, we're going to read the question that is on the board. Then we're going to read the page that the question is taken from. And after we read the page, we come back and we'll read these 3 options of 3 possible answers. And once we decide which one is the correct one, we will drag it with this pen on the board over this line. Anybody has questions?
No.
No, perfect. Okay, let's try one all together. Why did the mice set off from home? So, I'm going to read the page in the book. 10 hungry mice set off from home to gather food for a meal. My 3 options are: the mice were thirsty, the mice were hungry, and the mice were tired. So my correct answer is that the mice were hungry. And I'm going to drag it over the line. Anybody has questions?
No.
No, let's try another one. What did they find under the old tree? So let's see what the mice found under the old tree. They found some cherries under the old cherry tree. 1 for each. Okay, so did they find bananas?
No.
Did they find apples?
No.
Did they find cherries?
Yes.
Yes, they did find cherries. So I'm going to drag the answer cherries over the line. Okay, now you are going to give me the answer. What did the 3 crows do? And I'm going to read the page for you again. But as the mice crossed the meadow, 3 greedy crows swooped down and stole 4 of their cherries. So, did the crows say hello to the mice?
Yes.
Are we sure? Were they nice crows? Let's read the page again. But as the mice crossed the meadow, 3 greedy crows swooped down and stole 4 of their cherries. So, did they say hello to the mice?
No.
Did they ask the mice if they could play with them?
No.
No. Did they steal the mice's food?
Yes.
Yes, they stole their cherries. They weren't really nice, huh? Okay, now it's your turn. Who wants to come to the board?
Me.
Kristen, come over. Okay, what's the first thing I have to do?
Read the question.
Read the question. So, what does the question say?
What did the mice pick in the garden?
What did the mice pick in the garden? Let's read about it. Here we go.
There was not enough food for the mice, so they crept into a garden and picked 2 big red tomatoes.
Perfect. Okay, so what now?
We read the answers?
We read all the answers. What does this one say?
2 big green peppers.
2 big green peppers.
2 big red tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
2 big orange carrots.
Okay, which one do you think is the correct one?
2 big red tomatoes.
2 big red tomatoes. Good job. Let's drag it over. Let me help you. Oh, you did it. You did it. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Good job.
Yay.
2 big red tomatoes. Do you like tomatoes, Kristen?
Yes.
Good. They are good for you. Okay. What's our next question?
Where did the mice find the corn?
Where did the mice find the corn? We'll pretend we didn't see that. The mice. Okay, here we go.
Next, the mice searched the cornfield. They discovered 4 ears of corn lying on the ground.
Okay. Did they find it next to the river?
No.
Did they find it in the forest?
No.
Did they find it in the cornfield?
Yes.
Yes, and the corn... Here, you can drag it. The cornfield is colored in yellow because the corn is yellow. Do you like the color yellow, Kristen?
Yes, I do.
Good. It's a good color. It's very cheerful. Okay. Who splashed in the water? Okay, I'm going to read this page for you. On their way back home, as they were crossing a stream, a fish leaped out of the water and splash. So, who says some of the mice were almost washed away. So this is kind of a tricky question. So, none of them was washed away? All of them were washed away? Or some of them were washed away? What happened? Who fell into the water?
Some of them?
Some of them? Let's read it again. Some of the mice were almost washed away. What does almost mean?
Not all?
Not all, not at all. They didn't fall into the water. Okay, so some of them were right there to fall into the water, but in the end they didn't. So
none of them?
None of them fell into the water. Good, they were all nice, dry and warm. Okay, class, so today we answer some questions about the book How Many Mice?